Peggy.
Jen.
Hi,
Peggy. Hello. Good evening.
Yes. Happy Monday. Your drink looks beautiful.
And it's from my wall hurricane glass.
I love it.
It's one of the things I found in my hidden compartments in my kitchen.
I don't have any of those fun kind of daiquiri style glasses. I just have
Everybody
water
needs
goblets.
a hurricane glass. Though I've never actually had the drink a hurricane. So I feel like
I haven't heard of a drink called the hurricane.
That's why the hurricane glass came from the hurricane drink.
Okay.
Though I imagine it's named after like the hurricane lamps. Because it's the same shape as those chimneys.
Yes.
And then the drink
a lot of sense.
Also came after. But hey, Sheila.
Hi,
hurricane season approaches. So some weekend that we get hit by all the rain from a leftover hurricane, I guess that means I'll need to make one.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in it though.
I don't either. I like cocktails that are fruity, that look like your glass, that have rum in them.
There's rum in here.
I can't drink anything. I can only drink rum. No tequila. No.
I can drink pretty much anything except tequila and rye whiskey because it contains the gluten. And I don't know, whiskeys, bourbons, they're a little too rough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have a Manhattan, that's all right, but it's gotta have the mixers in there. Yeah. And I can have tequila if it's in a Paloma. But
I don't know anything that you're saying. Paloma?
It's a drink. It's a tequila drink with grapefruit juice.
Okay.
It's good.
I like light beer.
I can't drink beer.
Yeah.
I do love cider.
My daughter likes cider.
There's a semi-local cidery that makes a blackberry cider.
Oh.
It's delightful.
Sounds good. Tequila, really, Peggy?
You know what to say? One tequila, two tequila. Three tequila. Floor.
Wow.
How was your Monday? Let's start with the good news.
My Monday? It was I had 2 sales over the weekend.
Do you like it this way?
Oh, I do. It's just less close up. It's less of like
and I have my overhead lights off. If I'm too dark, let me know. But I just needed a calm, chill chat this evening.
Yeah, I didn't do a ton. I had 2 sales over the weekend on Etsy, so I got those. I went to the post office, got those boxes out, went by the thrift store just to see, and per usual, walked around and left empty-handed because I usually don't find much at my thrift stores. I mean, I get lucky every once in a while, but
I didn't go to the flea market this week.
Yeah.
But I did go to the Goodwill to see if I could find anything in the collar that's always on sale on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I didn't, but I found clothes.
Ooh, clothes are always good.
New dresses.
Yay!
And I found a big frame for a print that I've had that I got from Whatnot.
Well, that's good.
I could show it later.
Yeah. Or we can do it now. I brought, not that you haven't seen this. But I brought a new favorite thing.
You know how hard that was to sell. Oh, so hard.
Anybody who wasn't at Peggy and Angela's channel, you missed out on this. I got this awesome steel mesh with it says German silver in there, but
yeah,
it's
which isn't
just
it's
an
not.
amalgam of metal.
Yeah, that's just what they call it. It's kind of like Empire Art Silver, you know.
This is turn of the century, guys. So cool.
Well, there are sipping tequilas, which aren't terrible. Peggy.
I don't know any.
All right, let me go grab it. It's big.
Okay.
So hold on.
Okay.
It's in the boudoir.
In the boudoir. And with my purse that she sent me, she included this awesome postcard, which I love. It is of a medieval painting. And it's called The Unknown Portrait. So we don't know who she is, but I love this. So got a good thing today. Jose Cuervo. Is that tequila?
Jose Cuervo is not a friend of mine.
Oh.
Mary, hi.
Oh, Mary.
So I got this print from In Vintage Color.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an antique print. It says it's called The Bride. But like if you look at the bride's face, let me turn my brightness down.
Or you could make yourself bigger and then we can all see it bigger.
That would be helpful.
Okay.
Look at her face. She's like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be happy about it, but this is happening.
Right.
And it's got names on it. It's a litho of E.B. and E.C. Kellogg, which I haven't looked it up at all. But guess where it was printed?
In West Virginia?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh. Okay.
You could have used this for your scavenger hunt.
You know, I didn't think to look at the small where things were printed when I was wandering around the antique store.
So this frame was $5.99 because it had artwork in it, which was just a terrible print. So I was like, you know what, I can rip that out. Mm-hmm. And the mat that came with it actually works really well with colors.
Oh yeah. I love that. I love a coordinating mat.
So I have to decide. So the Fancy Lady gallery wall, I have amassed a number of pieces for the gallery wall. So much so that I don't know if it's going to fit in my bedroom. Mm-hmm. Because I have lots of other stuff on the wall in my bedroom. But the hallway leading to my bedroom has the same paneling that's in my bedroom. Mm-hmm. So it might be like the Fancy Ladies leading you to the boudoir.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that way you can.
How does that sound? And then other people can see it. Like if I'm having company over and my room's a mess, I can shut it and people can still see the Fancy Ladies. Mm-hmm. But I'm still thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to have more than you need, because then you can really play with the shapes and.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I need to lay them all out and see how they're going to work. Because right now I have a tiny gallery wall started right at the beginning of that hallway by the bathroom, which I call my Strong Lady gallery wall. Leanne, I mean, I've had some people over. It's small. I've had small gatherings. I don't want large gatherings.
I wish I could have. I would want a big house just for the reason of being able to have a bunch of people over, so they could stay over, for a weekend.
I think 4 or 5 people. That's my max. That's also what my driveway will hold. So I'm limited. More people can come if they carpool.
Well,
like
you don't have
5 stars.
street parking on your
Not
lot?
really, no.
No.
So like if I'm in my garage and somebody else pulls into my garage, then we can get 6 to 7 cars, depending on the size of the cars in my driveway.
That's good.
Road frontage area.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't know how we got on this, but with I have small, but yeah, I like gatherings that don't involve like meals. I like gatherings that involve appetizers only.
Okay.
Charcuterie is the best because there's no cooking involved. Mm-hmm. And I can get ridiculous with laying it out and making salami roses and stuff.
Oh, cute.
Because I love doing that. Mm-hmm. Maybe a baked brie. If I can ever find something I can bake a brie in that's gluten-free. Though you can just bake it like in a ramekin.
Mm-hmm. Or you could do things that, you know how on Chateau Diaries, they're overrun with courgettes. I wonder if you could bake a brie in a zucchini.
Oh, I'm sure if you spice it right, it would be delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Charcuterie. I also make little like tortilla roll-ups that involve, I mean, anything that involves cream cheese, you know, is going to be delightful. So cream cheese is always a must. Let's see what else. And then, of course, you got to use fancy glasses. Unless you're feeling, I think the last time I had people over, we used fancy glasses, but they used paper plates because there was only so much washing up I was willing to do.
Sheila, do you host wine tastings at your house?
Sheila knows a lot about wine.
That's fun.
Which is what led to her. Sheila, I need to see pictures of your Carnival glass collection. Because she's got a lot.
Send us that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She's also got a Belique collection that I'm very excited to see.
I do enjoy Belique. I only have one.
Man, we're all fancy.
One teeny tiny piece of Belique, and that's it. But I do think
fancy is a frame of mind. I almost bought Belique, so funny story.
I love the shell.
Funny story that's not actually funny.
Okay.
When I was in grad school, it was a very dark time in my life because that's when my health, like,
right, and your skin.
Grad school in general. Yeah. And so at one point I was on a lot of pain medication that totally messed with my sleep schedule. And so I was up at weird times. So what I would either watch Golden Girls, because weirdly you can find Golden Girls on a channel pretty much any time of day. So I would watch a lot of Golden Girls. But then when I felt too like isolated, I would watch QVC because it was like people were talking to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially like why I like loved the YouTube community, because it has a QVC feel, except you can actually talk back to the people.
I agree.
Still buy too many things, but at least on the YouTube vintage community, I'm buying things that are fantastic and fabulous versus like a cleaner made of banana skins, an actual thing that I bought. So
really,
but Belique, so twice a year, QVC and maybe HSN, they have an Irish festival, like with all Irish made goods. And it's around St. Patrick's Day, of course. But then like Rose of Sharon Day, which is in September. So I've got like some Erin Craft knitted Afghans, Connemara marble jewelry. So like
sounds awesome.
Because then they would have like Celtic music, like it's like the whole day.
Yeah.
And
that really fun.
I'm a sucker for bagpipes, so
I think you should wear the robe next time.
Oh, there's throws. I have one right over there.
Oh.
My favorite one is black, but it's like got Celtic knotwork and stuff in it.
Ooh.
It's rolled up in my coal scuttle because it's black.
That sounds
It's
really
over
nice.
there under my thing. But
Sheila says anyone who comes to her house gets to choose any bottle.
It's not that far from me,
them.
Sheila. I mean, that sounds like a perfect birthday weekend trip.
Yeah, and she likes the shells too, the Balik shell pattern.
Yes,
it's so pretty. So pretty.
And they get so excited when they're talking about the Connemara marble that you just can't help but also get excited. So, well, my tangents were really long today. But we can jump in. Unless does anybody have like something they need to talk about this Monday specifically? Because we're happy. We're happy to be here for you. All right. Well, we can dive in.
Oh, sorry. I'm reading that some guy looks like a leprechaun. So
yeah, that's what the guy who talks about the Connemara marble. He's
okay. So I picked hat pins for celebrating collections because we have to celebrate the hat pins.
Mm-hmm.
I really like all of this. I like the huge collections. I like the little tiny pearl collections on the pillow with the tiara. I love that.
That looks like it belongs under a cloche.
Yes. I don't have a huge collection like these big ones, but I have picked up a few and I enjoy them.
Yeah, I have like 3. Well, tonight Helen just got a cool like hat pin base that's like hand painted. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, there's so many wonderful things. And you could, if you're going to collect hat pins, you could just collect a whole bunch, or you could narrow it down like the really pretty, I don't know if those are amethyst or just a purple alexandrite type stone, but that's a beautiful little collection. Or if you just did pearls or just did, rhinestones. I mean, there's so many. So many.
They're so pretty.
They're so pretty. And I did tack on another collection kind of because I was looking at hat pins. So of course then I went to pin cushions. I don't know if you stuck them together, but
yes. And I don't know if y'all saw the terrible news that came out 3 hours ago, but
I did not.
Olivia Newton-John passed away.
Oh.
Dennis.
Oh. Wow. Olivia.
Yeah. Because somebody sent me a gift, but it wasn't a recognizable gift, and I was like, "Why are you sending me this?" And then I looked, and I was like, "Oh, fudge."
Yeah, that's. I mean, she has such a beautiful legacy, such a light, of a human being, and beautiful voice. But still, it's sad to know that some of these people that we've grown up with are gone, and it's just sad.
And I do.
It's too bad.
All right. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Yes, the hat pin was it doubled as a personal safety device.
Yes.
And if you remember when I did Franny Fisher, one of the episodes, hat pin is a murder weapon.
Yeah.
Wow. It took them a long time to figure it out, but she of course Franny figured it out really quickly. But
yeah, so I guess the long ones are really valuable. I think they're a little harder to get.
Yeah. So this isn't normal. I mean, I'm an upcycler. So that's what like drew me to this.
I love
And now these are glued on. You can't just like, stick the pins in there. I mean, you could, depending on the lampshade. But if we all come across broken brooches and broken, clip-ons, etc., this would be a great way to use those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the minimalism of the one on the left, but I kind of want to see one that is like covered.
Yes.
In brooches.
I've seen one covered in not really pretty floral ones like this, but one done more in like buttons type pins, where they just filled the whole thing with buttons that were significant maybe throughout their life. But the florals look beautiful. The border, the minimalist one you said, that's very pretty.
And it's lovely in the room that she has it in. And so I was going to share, it's from a website called Quintessentially Quinlan. And so she also does like a blog about home decor and all kinds of other things. I'll drop it in the chat because I kind of started going down a rabbit hole and I was like, okay, I'll share this link specifically.
And I guess if you had that many brooches to craft around with, I've also seen people make magnets out of ones, or if like you have like a single earring, you can make little magnets out of.
Well, the thing is, if you use hot glue, like you could put it on there and then change your mind later. Like hot glue is something you can take off.
That's true.
Like if you use E6000, that's more of a permanent decision. So just, gauge carefully when you go this route. But I mean, personally, I like this as far as the function. Like I love those jewelry trees and stuff. But I like this because it's beautiful and it serves a purpose as well.
Right. And it's more three-dimensional in the room where it looks different from different angles instead of like a flatter approach.
Each side could be different.
Yeah.
I like how the one on the one on the left, like she's got it like, there's different peaks and stuff. So your next one.
Okay, so here's the antique little pin cushions, and these are antique ones. I saw on Etsy a lot of ones kind of similar to this that are smaller, that are very bright silver. Those are not antique. These ones, repros. Yeah, they're kind of like repros. And they're smaller. These are fairly large, and they kind of remind me of the pocket watch holders that I really liked that I was looking at several shows ago. Same appeal to me. I loved these. I saw them when I was looking at the hat pins and said, "Oh, let's put these in here," because they're not that easy to find. You can find the repros, but the only one on here that I found that's for sale is the one on the left, the dog. That one was online.
It looks more like a ferret.
Or maybe a ferret. Maybe it is. The other two were just on Pinterest. Those were not like available for sale. They're very cool. But I think they'd be a great collection if you could, that
would be like a long-term collection. Like
it really would. But there's
your searching cap on.
Yeah, I don't see these wandering around at the antique malls. I bet they're all in Europe.
Probably. When we win the lottery.
Oh, do you think it's a cat, Leanne? Maybe it's that cat.
No, the middle one. Yeah. That one's definitely a cat.
It's got a lot of wear, but isn't it really cool?
I thought it was sorry. Whoa.
Yeah, I think, and the rabbit.
I was trying to make the slide thing go away so I could see the whole picture.
Oh.
And I forgot how you did that. And then I clicked the wrong thing. Sorry.
Okay.
those are awesome.
Yeah, I would love to find one of those.
So moving next is my medium S, and so my friends Andrew and Anna are in Vintage Caller, and they just started their own YouTube channel. That's why they have 6 subscribers. They're located in Massachusetts, and they regularly buy auction lots and stuff. So they find some amazing things, like the antique lithograph that I just showed you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I buy from them on Whatnot. They have a regular sale every Wednesday, and their Instagram is here at the bottom. These items on the right are just an example of some things, but Andrew is also a composer, so you could be on their Whatnot and he'll randomly play a piece of music.
Neat.
So their aim for their YouTube channel is antiques, oddities, some music mixed in, because he writes his own music that he can play, and they only have their little, I think they posted their like intro video today. So this is literally like
an intro
ground floor. But they're a fantastic couple, and they're very sweet. And if you are a Whatnot, you should check them out there, because you get some deals. And they also have an eBay. Like, if they have something that's worth, like, it'll go on their eBay. But even what they don't put on their eBay that they sell on Whatnot is top tier.
Is this lilac Wedgwood piece on their eBay right now?
It's sold. But it's not Wedgwood. It's earlier than Wedgwood.
Okay.
I forget what the company was, but I don't know. It's on their It's on their website. But yeah, look at that
pretty
handle on the
I love it.
Lid and everything.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Hi, Helen.
Which there is a picture, like, in this video, like they pan over a whole Wedgwood shelf.
Oh.
So worth giving a follow. In case you never know what they'll bring. They also have tons of awesome ephemera too, because let me drop their link in the chat, so if anybody wants to check them out.
Do you know if they're going to do videos of them going to the auction and seeing how they work? Because I'd be the most interested in that, to see how much do they buy when they go to the auction. Are they buying blind lots, or are they just buying, like, what are they doing, you know?
Yeah, well, I know that they buy lots. Like, I think they usually can, like, see a few of the things that's in them, but then sometimes it can be unknown. So, but if you check them out,
wow,
you can say, hey, you should do a video about this, because I'd love to know.
Yes.
So that is my media must for today.
I'm always curious about how much, for people who go to auctions, how much do they spend when they go to the auctions? You know what I mean?
Well, I do auctions, but I do online auctions.
I've done online auctions, and
they're online, but I have to pick it up in person. They're local estate auctions.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way I do it is I look at the pictures, because usually there's not an in-person preview. And sometimes the pictures are terrible.
Yeah, I've done it, but I've always been disappointed. I've
been more happy than disappointed.
I don't know. The ones in Colorado where it's basically just an estate sale online, they never describe any damage or issues. And there's, I would say 90% of the time, there's always something that they didn't mention.
Well, that's the thing. Like, usually if it's a big lot, there's like 3 or 4 things that are, and then it's all the stuff they don't want to get rid of mixed in.
Yeah.
Which is hard, but so yeah, I'm on an auction not buying spree right now.
Yeah. I want to say hi, Susan. I saw you pop in.
I have not heard of this.
You have not heard of? Okay, so my media must is a YouTube channel called Quintessence, and it is hosted by Susanna Salk. She is, I believe she's a New Yorker, Connecticut kind of gal. She definitely has a lot of friends in high places because she's done some really fun tours that you can find on this channel. But I want to say that if you do decide to go visit this channel, it had like some growth, and then it had a change in COVID. So the best videos are going to be if you go back to where it says like 5 years ago, 5 and 4 years ago. Something happened after COVID where I think whoever she was working with, maybe they parted, but the production level seemed to change. The camera, the editing, everything kind of changed a little bit. It still has the feel that this channel had 5 years ago, but it's not quite as HGTV level as it was 5 years ago. But she still is doing stuff now. You know, she's picked back up again after COVID. It's just a little bit different, usually a little bit shorter. But there are some really great homes that she gets to visit. It's basically like Architectural Digest, only usually these are homes of other designers. You know, they're like Timothy Corrigan. If you don't know who he is, he's been a designer, kind of like Bunny Williams, or who else like people know. but
Jonathan Adler,
kind of like that, where, you know, and so some of these homes are great, and these three I really liked, but there's a lot of them in there that are just fun to go get inspiration. It's basically if you want to do a little inspiring interiors, but have a tour of a lot of rooms in the house.
Okay.
So I recommend it just for when you're in the mood to sit and wander through some
pretty things,
some fun. Yeah. And some of them might not be your taste. Some of them are a little more eclectic. Some of them are a little more modern. Some, you know, it's a variety. But go back to these, or right around 4 or 5 years ago, where it'll say on there, and just dive in. Dive in at night when you're cozied up in bed, and you can just sit and watch.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, your interiors.
Inspiring interiors. I chose spiral staircases, or the serpentine staircase, however you want to say. I like these pictures a lot. I just love them. You know, I mean, there's not a lot to say other than cool.
Can you walk down those stairs not wearing a ball gown? Is it allowed?
It's
frowned upon, at least.
I don't know. I guess maybe you have to have some sort of wrap that has a flowy, you know, something behind you. Maybe
you cannot wear ratty PJs and go up and down these stairs.
I don't know.
100 stars robes are acceptable.
Yeah, the 100 stars robes. See, that's you just have a couple at the top of the stairs, so you just like put it on, so you can waft down.
Diaphanous gowns.
You know, I have looked on that website many a time.
Oh, you're not alone.
Considering, I'm like, oh, should I get the half robe? Should I get the full robe?
It'd be like the Greenbrier, like in their lounge, they have little signs saying what you have to be wearing to be there. Like at the bottom of these stairs, you got to make a sign. You're like, you must have these things.
Yeah, Peggy's like, you must be dressed appropriately to access these steps.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
That is funny.
So I couldn't make these pictures smaller because I love them so much. So there's kind of a theme to my inspiring interiors and my history highlight, but I was just thinking about the Russian dacha, which is in of itself like lovely little things to look at. But then I remembered these Polish painted houses, Polish painted cottages. And the town most known for it is Zalapie. And they just have, I mean, it's an old tradition that, of course, is dying out. Okay. They do a yearly competition, like in these villages, to try and keep it alive. But as unfortunately most lovely folk art things, it's a dying breed. And it kind of makes me want to paint my house.
It's adorable.
I just want to get some white paint because my house is red, and I kind of just want to paint signs all over the side of it. You know what? I can. It's my house.
It's your house. I feel it is really sweet, Susan. I feel like when I was like, you just feel like, Hansel and Gretel and Little Red Riding Hood should be like hopping by in this.
Yeah. So you mainly find them in Zalapie and then other towns near it, like Olesno, Nivki, Svikov, and Cluj, or Cluj, as some people know it.
Oh, wow.
I know. But it's not just the outside that's painted. So we'll move from the exterior to the interior.
Oh, my God.
And I don't remember the Polish word for these kind of stoves, but in Russian, this kind of like literal heart of the home stove is called a pech. And they're often built in like this. And in fancy homes, they have tile on them. But in these Polish homes, they would be painted. And which is glorious. And look, there's painting on the ceiling, over the window.
I feel like I just stepped into a dollhouse. Pretty? Wow.
And this one belongs to a specific painter who is pretty well known, and I did not write down her name. But if you look up Polish painted houses or Zalapie, then you've got, there's just so many you can look through and find, and it's just lovely. Just lovely. And then I love this so much.
Yeah, I saw this picture and was like, oh my God. I've never seen a China pantry so bougie in all my life. But you can tell it's custom because at the top, the oval platters have their own little holders. Like at first I thought, is this a store? And then I'm like, I think this is somebody's custom made China pantry.
Right? Because, well, the only thing is you can't have more than 3 tureens. Because look at the center there. There's only room for 3, possibly 4. But I love the teacups and saucers.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I know. Chevron floor, which is so modern.
The floor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the teacups. There's just, it's every little cubby. I want to walk up to it to see if there's a label that says, like, if it has its own little.
Right.
Like this is.
How do they decide which one goes where?
Exactly. Oh my goodness. It's something.
This makes me happy. Like, I need this. Now, where can I put it? I mean, the China cabinet I have is not big enough. No, I don't have as much as this, but
yeah,
I feel like I could aspire to this.
Yeah, it's creative. I mean, the arch is the most impressive part about it.
I know.
For each
I want to know how those plates are staying. Like, I need more information.
I thought those were the sauce. Oh no, I guess the saucers.
No, because the teacups are on their saucers, so those are like dessert plates or salad plates.
You're right. Okay, but it's like a collection. They don't even They're almost, no, they're not all different. I just
See, I wonder if it's like one of each pattern that they have, because it looks like each, because you can see stacks of plates on the side shelves.
Yeah.
I think they have like each thing grouped together.
Yeah.
But so maybe they wanted all of their patterns on display.
This person really likes China.
Yeah, they do.
Look at all those plates.
And that's amazing. We should send this to Stephanie. We should tell her this is what she needs. This is the China pantry you need.
Oh my God.
Okay.
No, send it to Philip. He's the one who'd be like.
There's no flatware though.
Well.
Okay. So.
Ooh.
I had to pick something I pretty much knew about already because I did not have time for a lot of research this week. But I felt like I needed to do the Russian nesting doll, the Matroshka, and that is in Cyrillic there at the bottom. And
that's how you say a Matroshka?
Matroshka.
Matroshka.
Yeah. So the E with the 2 dots of it over it, and that's a letter known as a U. So it's like if you had to write it out so somebody would make that sound, it's like Y-O-I. Like U. Okay. So Matroshka.
But the P is a R?
That's an R. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Matroshka.
Matroshka. So.
Before you start.
Yes, Sheila. Yes, Sheila. Perfect. And I would need one for my uranium.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd have a China pantry, have a wine display room, and then a glass display room, all in a row. Who needs a bedroom? Let's just display the collections. Anyway. So the Matroshka was first created in 1890, which I thought it was older than that.
I would have thought so too.
But it was first created, well, it was designed by a folk artist by the name of Sergei Malyukin. His full name was Sergei Vasilovich Malyutin. And then he approached a woodworker, Vasily Petrovich Zyostochkin. And because he obviously wasn't a woodworker. Vasily was a woodworker, so they worked together to create the first nesting doll, which is what is pictured here. It is in a museum to this day. And you'll notice that, the painting is quite different from, most Matroshki we come across today. Sheila knows what we're talking about. So, and you can find this image on Wikipedia, like if you want to blow it up and look at the images. But first, the word Matroshka, the Russian word for mother is mat. So it's like little mother is kind of like what Matroshka means. So that's why I had a woman in as the first one, and then the smallest one, which is usually solid wood, would be a baby.
Okay.
And I mean, there was really no real reason. Some people were like, oh, it was for counting, or it was for, I was like, no, this artist had this idea and he wanted to make it happen. And that's how it came to be. And now, traditionally, the first doll is wearing a Seraphon, which is a traditional Russian dress, which you can see in both of these pictures, and is depicted wearing either a headscarf, which is known as a platok, or a kokoshnik, which is this headdress that you see on the image down below. And that painting is of the Grand Duchess Alexandra Pavlovna.
It's beautiful.
In case you were wanting to know.
It's beautiful. And
she became like the Palatina of Hungary later in life, but she's depicted wearing peasant dress, because rich people like to play at being poor.
So the kokoshnik is what's
The head.
under the crown, or is it
No,
that?
it is that headdress.
Okay.
And it looked at different ways depending on different regions of Russia, because like further back, like it was just kind of like the straight up thing. Sometimes it has like beading that comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like just almost looks like a cap, but is beaded.
Mm-hmm.
And the platok, as well as good night, Mary.
Yeah, good night. I was just trying to type.
And it's funny because here in the U.S. and in the West, both the platok and the Matroshka itself are referred to as babushkas.
Yes.
Which ain't something that happens in Russia.
Okay.
Babushka means grandmother.
Yeah.
So, hey, Geneva.
Hi, Geneva.
So yeah, but that's just some doll facts. But I mean, I love Seraphons. They're so pretty.
I love on the bodice the border where it looks like it's those like really pretty embroidered ribbons.
Yeah, and that's a very fancy Seraphon. I mean, because obviously she was royalty. The Seraphons that you see above, they were like printed, most likely cotton. They weren't, a super fancy like the one you see in the painting.
Mm-hmm.
But you can find Metroski of all kinds of subject matter. Obviously, it started with the ladies down to the baby, but then it went from like political figures. I know when I was trying to choose which Matroshka I wanted when I was in Moscow, like they have like all of like the Soviet leaders like coming down. They have all the U.S. presidents. They have like popular TV shows, popular movies. I mean, if you wanted a Matroshka in something, and you could go to the Izmailova market in Moscow and it's there, guaranteed. Yeah. Now, they will be expensive, but it's there. Speaking of, the largest Matroshka set on record, the record was set in 2003. And this is the creator and I guess his friend. This is Yulia Berezhnitskaya. The largest is a foot and 9.25 inches tall. And the smallest is 0.125. And there are 51.
Wow.
Like, you can't even see the littlest one. Look at that. Oh, cool, Geneva. I like the cats.
Oh, cute. That was a little mouse.
Now, if you get traditional Russian Matroshki, often they will have the town that they were created in written on the bottom in Cyrillic. If y'all want me to look at it and read it for you, I can do that. But the number one town is Sergeyev Posad, which is where the creator moved to in the 1890s. And ever since then, it's like the home of the Matroshka. But there are other towns that make them as well. Semyonov, Polkovsky Maidan, and Kirov. And Sergeyev Posad has been a hub of toy making since the 14th century.
Oh,
just think about that.
Yeah.
We're talking the 1300s. So there are a lot. And this is the Musée Igrushki, which is located in Sergeyev Posad, which is the Museum of Toys. Mm-hmm. And that's it in the bottom right-hand corner. And I didn't look to see that original Matroshka may be in this museum, but I didn't.
From the first slide?
Yeah. It just said museum photo, and I didn't dig deeper because I wanted that picture, and that was all I was into.
Yeah.
So let me make myself bigger here. So I brought two of my favorite Matroshki. I think I'll start with the bigger one. And it is signed, and here you can see there Sergeyev Posad. And so this one was made in that home of traditional Russian Matroshki.
Wow.
And she's got her platok on, so she's just in the headscarf. But this one depicts Russian fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Ivan Tsarevich и Vasilisa Прекрасная. And I think, yeah, there's the Zhar Ptitsa, which is the Firebird. But each one depicts a different Russian fairy tale. So like here's the Frog Princess.
Oh.
And this one is a little different because it's got like wood burning.
Oh wow.
Not just paint. But I was studying Russian fairy tales at the time that I bought this, so I was like, I need this one. She was pricey, but I didn't care. And there were sets that this is probably another Ivan with his horse.
Oh. But if you think about it, I mean, those are how many are in that set? 10?
I don't. We'll have to count.
But that's like 10 individual paintings that you're
buying.
Yeah.
And then there's the Firebird again, which, shows up in a few different fairy tales. And I think when I bought this, I thought it was Pushkin Tales, which it might be. There's the Golden Fish, because Pushkin did, and people credit Pushkin with writing the fairy tales, but no, he didn't. The fairy tales existed long before Pushkin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there he got one of the Firebird's feathers. And here we're getting little. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Oh, it's Baba Yaga. She's
Baba Yaga. I love this. Oh, I have a story called Babushka Baba Yaga, so it's probably a play on the story, but
now Baba Yaga, like most people just like consider her as an evil witch, which she was sometimes, but sometimes she was good too.
Yeah, the story that I used to read my daughter was good.
So there's very rarely clear good and bad in the Russian fairy tales. This is just the horse. We're getting real little.
You are.
Oh goodness gravy. I think this might be the smallest one.
Is there a Russian folk tale that is short enough that you can tell me, like the story of the Firebird, or
the Firebird
front, or
I might have to reread them in order to do that. But there's Vasilisa the Beautiful. She goes, I forget why she goes out. Then she gets abducted by Baba Yaga, and then she outsmarts Baba. And now this is the smallest one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh! Oh!
Oh! We got 1, 2, 3.
It's so small.
These are there's 10.
Wow.
Which you can imagine.
Yeah.
Now you see why in order for there to be 51 pieces, why that one had to be over a foot tall. And in the market there, you could find really big ones. I just need to close up this little baby just so I don't lose it. And then I'll show you my other favorite one, which doesn't have as many pieces. It's a very, have you ever heard of Cheburashka? So Cheburashka was this little Soviet cartoon, which I think it meant little clumsy thing. He was discovered in a box of oranges. And the claymation, it was a claymation cartoon. And you can find it on YouTube. It's hilarious. It's funny to watch.
So is it from the era of Gumby, from this?
It's Soviet era. So, 40s through 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Cheburashka, and like when they did the Moscow Olympics, like they did like kind of they made something that looked like Cheburashka that wasn't Cheburashka. It was like Mishka the bear or something.
Mm-hmm.
But Cheburashka's best friend is Crocodile Gienah. Now, he works at the zoo. And at the zoo, he's just your normal naked crocodile. But when it's time to go home, he puts on his little coat. It's adorable.
Naked at work?
Well, I mean, crocodiles don't wear clothes at the zoo.
He puts on a coat to go home.
Then he puts on his clothes, his shirt and his coat to go home. And his little hat.
Oh my goodness.
So there's Cheburashka, Crocodile Gienah. And actually, the song that Russians sing, at least the Russians I was around on birthdays, they sing this song that is a song that Crocodile Gienah sings in Cheburashka. Anyway, I won't continue, but
continue.
But the refrain is К сожалению, день рождения только раз в году, which means, unfortunately, birthdays only come once a year. But it's real cute. It's real cute. But Crocodile Gienah also plays the accordion.
Oh.
This is his work friend, Lion, which means lion.
Yeah.
And then there is a, speaking of witches, there's a woman who's not very nice. She's always running around. Her name is Shapoclock.
Shapoclock?
Shapoclock. That's her name. I forget what it means. There's something about it. And she has a pet. Oh, I'm trying to get it so you can see what it is. Oh, there he is. There's his face. She has a pet rat.
Oh, you have got to add a link. Like, is this cartoon, is this claymation on YouTube?
I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. Whether or not it will have subtitles, I don't know.
But I want to see the alligator.
I will find
his accordion.
His song. And post the link to it. Because I have a little Crocodile Gienah that I bought when I was in Russia that plays the song because it's just an adorable little song. And so those are my two favorite Matroshki.
How many do you have? Do you have more than those two?
I have one that I got in Prague, which I got a discount on because I spoke Russian. And it's got like wood inlays of like the Charles Bridge on it.
Okay.
So it's not your traditional Matroshka. But it was the first one I ever bought. Outside of one that in Williamsburg, Virginia, there was a pottery that we would always stop at when we were headed, south. And it had like a toy store. And I just remember seeing all these Metroski, and like one year, like I saved up to buy one that was like this big, and I still have it. It's packed with all my other little things to go on my tiny things shelf.
Oh, cute.
But that's when I became obsessed with them. Mm-hmm. And then that was before I ever knew I was going to be studying Russian and all of that. So.
Yeah, I have one little, it's like a nesting doll, but I don't even think it's Russian. I mean, it's in the style. I'm guessing it's in the style of a Matroshka. Matroshki, but it's not. I doubt it because there's only like 3 or 4 of them. And it doesn't look Russian. It just is a nesting.
I think in Alsace, they also make some nesting dogs. It's just it started in Russia. It's kind of like, the pisanki, which are the decorated. I'm pretty sure they originated in the Ukraine, but they do them all over Eastern Europe. The wooden. The Ukrainian ones are usually wooded, but the other, they're very colorful, very thin little designs. I'll have to do a history highlight on those closer to Easter, because I've done the traditional Pasanki decoration, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Y'all could come and have a workshop.
Ooh. Fun idea.
But so yeah, that was my history highlight. Because when you don't have time, do it.
I loved it. I like
Y'all have any questions?
I don't, except for how much was the 10-person Metroski?
Try to remember. I mean, with the exchange rate, I don't think it was that bad. I would think it would, it's going to be cheaper if you buy it in Russia versus trying to buy it in the U.S. Somewhere between $30 and $50.
Oh, I was thinking way more than that.
No. I was a college student who was there on a,
for the
mission trip.
For the hand painting on the piece that you got, that sounds like a steal.
And I got one for my grandma, and I think I got one for my mom. I was buying lots, so I got a quantity discount. Also helps if you speak Russian. But I just love it. But I mean, and it's not just because I study Russian. I mean, I just love cultural items of pretty much any place. And I know with the current global climate, the odds of getting back to Russia in the near future are going to be pretty small, which is unfortunate because the Russian people in general are kind. It's just the leadership who might be problematic.
I think it would be frightening.
Yeah.
I would not feel comfortable. There are plenty of countries that I know I will never visit just because I don't think it would be smart or safe to do so.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I got to go when I did. I'd still love to see St. Petersburg in the wintertime, but maybe, who knows what happens 10 years from now.
Do you follow any YouTubers who live in Russia?
No, I have friends in Russia.
Well, maybe they could video when it snows every year for you.
Well, no, because the sun doesn't set.
Oh.
Or if it does, it's for a very, very short period of time. Or no, that's not in the winter. That's in the summer. Summertime in St. Petersburg. I am never going to Russia in the wintertime again.
Okay.
Ever. Because that's when I was there. I was there end of December, beginning of January, because we were taking Christmas presents to orphans in and around Moscow. And Russian Christmas is our Epiphany. So we left the day after Christmas, and we're there until a couple weeks into January. And that's a cold that you don't forget. We're talking negative 23. So cold. But the Russians, they're just there's ladies walking through Red Square. They've got short skirts on. They've got their coats open. They're just walking down, and I'm just like, how are your lungs not frozen?
They're wearing tights though, right? Tights?
They are tights, but sheer tights.
They're wearing those fleece tights. They got to be having something. Because that's not normal.
I mean, they're used to it.
Yeah.
Hi, Bridget. And there's an obscene amount of vodka.
That's what it is. Everybody's warm and toasty on the inside.
Yes. Well, you know about Russian toasts, right?
Probably not. So
if you go to a Russian's house, I mean, there will be lots of toasts. toast to you, toast to your host, toast to friendship, toast to family, toast to
and you have to drink
Russia,
after every toast. I see. I don't think
I mean, it's basically a shot every toast.
Hello,
Sunday.
I think I would fall over.
The key.
The first 2
I will tell you how to survive a Russian toast. Okay. As soon as you sit down, you'll have your toast glass, you'll have a wine glass, and you'll have a water or juice glass, or both. You drink your water. You drink all your water. You drink it fast. Take the first toast. You got to get in the spirit. But at least every 2 to 3 toasts, you take it. You take your water glass and you spit it out.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's acceptable?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do it on the sly.
Really?
Yeah, they'll never know.
Who taught you that? Did a Russian teach you that?
No, my instructor taught me that so that I would not end up with alcohol poisoning in a Russian hospital.
Yeah, good instructor. So when do you have the juice?
Well, you can have the juice whenever.
Okay.
With your whatever meal you're having. With your caviar, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russians, I mean, that's where I learned to imbibe was in Russia and other Eastern European countries. But then I became a lightweight, so I couldn't do it now. And their vodka is very different from our vodka. Very different.
Interesting.
Way better.
And is it easier to handle?
It's way smoother, yeah. But, everybody's going to think I'm an alcoholic. But I'm not. Promise.
Are there places in America where you can get legitimate Russian vodka?
Oh, yeah. Actually, Polish vodka is even better than Russian vodka, but that's just like Polish potato vodka is fantastic. A brand is pricey, but Chopin, like the composer,
yes,
is a great one. Depending on the distributor, the vodka I brought back from Russia was Yuri Dolgoruki, which means Yuri Long Arms. He was the founder of Moscow. And it was just a very pretty bottle, and that's why I bought it.
What was the name that sounded kind of like Shaka Khan of the Witch?
Shopaclock?
Shopaclock.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Crocodile song.
It's just like I bartended for a lady that drank a lot of potato vodka. She's like, I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
We're all about
trying to. Let me make sure this is.
Oh, Sheila is familiar with the Chopin vodka.
Chopin is good. Yeah, it's potato. Yeah. So, it's just potato salad. It's fine. Oh, which gets me into Russian food, which is a whole. They're acquired tastes, shall we say. You gotta like dill.
Okay. I like dill.
You gotta really like dill. I came back from Russia not liking dill. I can still eat dill pickles, but like, I went. Funny story. It's Angela's funny story day. We went to like a buffet restaurant in Moscow. I think it's called Moo Moo. And I thought for sure I would finally be able to get a meal that did not contain dill. There was like a chicken soup, kind of like chicken noodle, basically. And I was like, there won't be any dill in that. And so she serves out my soup, and borscht is delicious. And so she asked if I want smetana, which is sour cream. They put a lot of sour cream on top of their soups. And then she takes a spoon and dips it into the fresh dill. She's like, which means, do you want? And I was like, нет. I was like, нет, спасибо. No, thank you. And she's like, хочешь? And I was like, no. And she's like, немного, like a little bit. And she dumps this whole heaping tablespoon onto my chicken noodle soup. I was just like,
oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm fine with it now. It's been long enough. I can have a salmon terrine and not like egg, but it's fine. Yeah, borscht. Oh, I kind of want to make borscht. My she's actually Georgian, but she was one of my Russian teachers, Irina. She makes amazing borscht, and then she makes hachapuri, which is a Georgian cheese bread that so good. I can't eat it now. But
is borscht kind of like a ratatouille, or is that not? Am I not?
No, it's a beet stew. Okay. Yeah, it's bright pink.
Okay.
Now Poles serve it cold, and there's just borscht. But it's funny because you mix the sour cream into it, and it turns like a Pepto-Bismol powder. But I also like shi, which is a Russian cabbage vegetable soup. And then in Polish, gorkowy is a dill pickle soup. It's literally like hot pickles, which doesn't sound good, but it's pretty good.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I could go on all night, but it's getting late. And I'm going to have a whole other day tomorrow.
I would totally take dill pickle chips. Those I would take. I'm not so sure about.
Yeah, Geneva, just look online. I mean, I'm sure different regions have different recipes for borscht. So, I mean, I don't think you could really go wrong. You do want to get like, you can get like beet juice to help you save a little bit of time. So you can find like a Polish grocer or something. You can get it there.
Oh, that sucks. I know. I wish I had gotten the recipe. My Italian grandmother, she used to make raviolis, and she'd make gnocchi too, but she'd make awesome raviolis, and I never got the recipe. It's like, why? It's just not. I was too young, still in my 20s.
I know.
I didn't appreciate those kinds of heritage things that you wish you had now.
Yeah.
I feel for you, Sheila.
Do you know what part, Sheila? Now I'm going to have to go eat a pickle. Well, sorry for the ramblings tonight, y'all.
That's all right.
But
I enjoy the stories. I mean,
I know.
Talking about alcohol and food. I know it's not exactly our subject matter, but like you've said before,
food is culture.
Good tangent.
Should just be still things we love. If I come Sheila, I bet I think I have a good recipe for she somewhere that I'll have to track down for you. But and solyanka is another very popular Russian dish. But dill pickle hummus. Don't know about that. I'll try it, but I don't know about that.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope your Monday. Oh, Kiev. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's what's happening in Kiev right now. So sad. But may y'all's Tuesday be better than my Monday. And that's a low bar. So I'm sure it's possible. I hope my Tuesday is better than Monday. Because I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't think it can be much worse. But I have been wrong in the past. So
I'm going to try to find some funny pictures to send you this week or something to help keep you.
I will take the gifts.
Your spirits up.
I just had to bring up the picture of my chair and stare at it today. The chair that is not my chair.
Yeah. The chair. The chair that got away.
Well, again, thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah,
I didn't do a quote for today just because I didn't have it in me. But I'll say spokoj noci, which is good night. Do svidana.
Everyone have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for spending an hour plus with us, and we'll see you next week.